Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. You're taking me for a variety of classes in the series. Today we're going to be talking about leadership. This is going to be a quick overview. You already have my concept map that I have in front of you here. Printed out. You have the first and second tier level. When I say first and second tier level, when you press this on, right, this is basically your this is your second tier, and what you have to do, you'll basically come in here and you add in more information as you read the chapters. Use this as a brief outline and also as the vocabulary for this chapter. Okay, so let's talk about leadership. Quick overview. And I'm going to go, the author did a great job, make sure you read it. So here's some of the things I want to talk about managing. I managed it for a while from the corporate world, managing small businesses. I assist small businesses on how to manage individuals. It's okay when you start off your business, you manage yourself. That's the hardest thing. After you finish managing yourself, so you plan, you organize, you do the 4 functions of management, right? Let me just come in here. Remember, this is everything I'm going to be talking about. The 4 functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. It's very easy because if you develop those skills and then now you're a leader, you can manage someone else. The issue happens as your company grows. You can't manage all these people. There's a certain, there's how many people could you effectively manage? Your span of control, narrow or wide. You're going to find out this about the read. I'm just adding the things you should be looking for. All right, so you're managing this. You want to be a leader. Let's say if you're working for somebody else, and why doesn't he, or why does Sally, or why does Jack always get those leadership positions? I don't, because you're not exhibiting the planning. You don't plan your everyday work. You don't organize your everyday work. You don't lead, help other people, and say, hey, could you help me out? You don't control your cost. These, if you can't do this now as an individual, and now you want to be a leader and you have to be responsible for 20 people doing this, or 10 or 15, depending on the size, whether it's a narrow span of control or a wide span of control, I'm not going to promote you. So you have to start exhibiting these, okay? So you have that. That's one thing. You have to have those skill sets. The one thing I want to talk about, a lot of people say, I want people, why do you want to be a manager? If you're going for an interview, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, a lot of people say, what makes a good leader? Well, do you like me? I like my girlfriend, I like my wife, I like my kids, I like this, I want them to like me. But every now and then they do something wrong as a parent or a leader. You have to say, nope, that's not the way it does it. You have to follow the policy. I'm going to give you some kind of disciplinary action, whatever, timeout, take some money out of your paycheck, write you up, whatever. The whole thing is about, if you think that you want people to like you, and that's the whole thing that you're striving for as a leader, you're in the wrong position. What you want them to do is respect you. You're fair. I treat you and you the same. I also work in a gray area. I know a circumstance. Here's a policy. Let me help you out. So if I'm looking at this, I understand the emotions. I understand that you're not just a machine. You have feelings, emotion. That's what we found out from the scientific, from the behavioralist. Everything else you're going to be learning in a few chapters. I think next week on motivation. So for a leader, respect, consistency, let them know what to do, good communication. Now, the other thing, some people say men are better leaders than women. I'm just saying that because I'm a man. To study the facts. Remember, whatever somebody tells you, look at the facts. Don't say what I'm telling you. Check out my facts. Don't say what I'm saying. Well, he's got a PhD. He knows that. Check out the facts. That's what you learn in business. Always sounds good. Do the facts support what he or she or that business or that narrative's coming in there? Always check out the facts, okay? So the facts are basically, statistics said men and women basically are equal in managing. Women may be a little more team building, more working in groups, more sensitive, able to, I want to say not emotional, but able to empathy, able to see the other person's point of view. Men are, which is good. Men are more assertive. Numbers, facts, data driven. Let's get going. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So now, if I'm looking at this, and both of them, the whole thing is to achieve the goal at the end as a leader. Here's the goals the company have. Here's the goal, or the goals that my as a small business, increase sales, bring in a new market, whatever it is. Those are the goals that I'm focusing. Am I being a man or a woman? Am I being more of a participative or autocratic type of leader? Remember, these are all the different types of leaders, personalities. Everything's all tied in. This is an interesting chapter. That's why psychology comes in here. So, which one? The company doesn't care how you do it as long as you achieve those goals. So if you're a participative manager and you get people to work with you and everything else and you achieve the goal, they leave you alone. If you're a participative manager because you want everyone to like you and you don't make the goal, you're on, an autocratic leader comes in. All right, so make sure your whole thing is that you make the goals, either your individual goals for your small company, or if you're a team leader, or if you're a middle manager, you're making all the goals. That's all right. And how do you make the goals? Top management, as you're going to find out here, is top manager basically sets the goals and objectives, and it comes down to each department basically does a little piece of that goal. So they it's like a manufacturing plant. One does the plastic, the other does the engine, and then sometimes at the end the leader or the whole the coordinator basically puts it all together, and you have a finished product or a service or a product. All right, so you have that. Make sure you have a vision. The vision is for the individual. Don't make it real complicated. My vision is to the best pizza maker. My vision is whatever, right? Mission statement tells you what the company's about. It focuses in. If your mission changes because of the external factors, as a leader, you have to adjust your mission statement. You don't keep this, well, our mission statement is to use paper. Technologies change. I gotta use the digital print. People print out their own paper. So you have to adjust, okay? Setting goals and objectives, you have that in here. Okay, now SWOT analysis, and we're gonna talk about the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Focus on that. And so every decision you make as a leader, you're looking to SWOT analysis. What's the strength of the decision? What's the weakness? What's the opportunity? What's the threat? Okay? Strengths and weaknesses are within the organization. Opportunity and threats are outside the organization. Okay? Different types of planning. Okay? Tactical, strategic. You can look at that. Decision making. Most of us are basically, I know there's a problem. Remember, most businesses are solving a problem in the company. As a leader, when I'm looking at a person, it's too hot in here, always complaining. You don't want to end up as a complainer. You'll never make it as a leader. You want to be a problem solver. So if I'm an individual working for me and say, it's hot in here, oh, Jesus, she's going to complain again, or she's going to complain again. And he said, but I called in maintenance. They said they'll take care of it. They'll replace the thermostat. I said, boy, I like that person. He's a motivator. He's basically sees the problem, finds a solution, and presents it. Sometimes you can't change the solution, the problem. Your solution may not be implemented, but here's the problem and here's the solution that I think will solve this problem. That makes you a problem solver. That's what they want in business. That's the type of leader I'm looking for. That's what you have to be if you're going to open up your own business. There's no one else going to help to solve the problem but you. You got to be creative. People think creativity as a leader is basically got to be artistic. Creativity means working outside the box. I only have so much information. How am I going to make this happen? Okay, so I'm problem solving. Levels of management, you got that, trait. Some people are natural leaders. You may not like President Trump because his a little harsh or the way he comes across is right to the point. But that's business people. They don't beat around the bush. They say, here's the problem. The bush is the problem. We got to take it down, or we got to do this. Do you see what I'm talking about? So a leader, when you're looking at business, we're straightforward. If he or she, a leader, says they're going to do something, they're viewed on that they make that thing happen, or don't say it. Don't agree it. So it's a little different, okay? Okay, different supportive things, traits, are you supportive or whatever on here. Okay, managerial skills that you need. You need technical skills. You need all of them. When you really, I'm sorry, let me look in here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I'm not going to go in here. Excuse me. I want to keep this under, remember, this is where the heck am I? And those of you who know, who have it, it's a little easier to read. Okay, so now I'm looking at technical skills. I keep on forgetting. I got my little picture in here. I'm live in here. Technical skills, you need all of them. You can't say, I don't know anything. Look at me. I got to know WebEx, Zoom, this program, Canvas, Blackboard. You have to be, that's the society. Some people say, well, I don't have a computer. Go to the library. I don't have to go to the other thing. Use your smartphone. You have to know technology because technology is embedded in business more than you think. If you don't know technology, you're out of there, okay? All right, so what else do we have? Staffing. Remember, those are the people who help me make it happen. Leadership, communicate, embrace change, promote ethics, transparency. How do you do transparency? I'm going to make a decision. I tell my team why I made it. They may not agree with you, but they know the rationale. Well, because I feel, shut up, I'm the boss, you do what I tell you. That's not leadership. We're doing this because customers, look at all the customer complaint. We got to reduce it. Remember, when you get customer complaints coming to your office, if you do surveys, it's just a tip of the iceberg. Majority of your customers, if they're unhappy, just find another business. I'm not going to spend the time. What a jerk. What a company. Psh, I just go there. I don't like Walmart. I go to Target. I don't like Target. I don't like Home Depot. I go to Lowe's. I don't like Lowe's. I go to Menard. But someone will write you. That's the tip of the iceberg. You have to be able to address. If this person got so upset and he or she wrote to you about this, you should resolve it or look into it. Because remember the iceberg, the tip's out here, the boat's at that. All right. So, okay, 4 types of executives. Okay, now you have a rationalist, politicist, humanistic. You in Briggs and Myers just tells you different personalities. One thing with leadership is one leadership with another fighting. When 2 leaders are fighting, look at what we have. We have Trump fighting the Democrats or some of the Republicans or vice versa. When you have a fight, people that are your subordinates for the team, they have to take sides. They're in the middle. They don't know what to do. Try not to fight, resolve. And when you took the Briggs and test, you find out a lot of times the fighting is just community. Sometimes it's a little more than that. I'm just trying to give you an overview. The Briggs and Myers and Briggs tests are. I'm dyslexic. I can turn things around. I look at it again. Basically, look at individual personality. So if I find out my personality is an invert and you're an extrovert, one that likes to be outside, doing things outside with people. Me, I like to keep to myself. What I find out when I know that's my personality, I can't be all bubbly. I have to be more serious. So by knowing the other person's personality, I'll be able to communicate with him or her better because I understand where they're coming from. A little empathy, a little personality, a little psychology. Now, on the flip side, when I have 2 employees, different personalities, I make them work together as a team. So they pick up. Same thing with managers. I'm a male leader and she's a female leader. We both lead, but she may lead a little differently than I do, and I lead a little differently. And she said, hey, I kind of like those numbers. George, could you help me with this? I said, how do you get people to like you? How do you get the people to empathy? How do you get people to talk to you? I come up, hey, can I help you? You got any question? And you don't say nothing. And she said, hey, instead of looking down, I lean down. Hey, look, I need a favor. Could you help me? I'm still the boss. It's how I approach the individual to get the thing done. That's what's important. But in reality, you need all of it. Everything you're learning here is everything. You got the leadership, autocratic, participate, free reign. And here's the chart, did a real nice job on this. And like I said, the author did a real good on that. So if I'm looking at this, it depends on the individual and the circumstances, everything else, what you're going to find out which one. Some people, I could be as nice as you want, but they're still jerks. And the only thing they're going to know, either you're going to change, you're going to get better, or I'm going to, for lack of better words, I'm going to fire you or unhire you, or I'm going to give you some discipline. Remember, leadership, you got power. You got reward power, you've got coercive power, you've got assignments. There's a lot of power you have as a leader. You've got power from the company. Remember, the 2 main ones. You could reward them and you could punish them. But you have reverent power. They respect you. You have power because you're an expert in that. If you could put all those powers together that you're reading in here, now you're an effective leader. You could have charisma, okay? Okay, so you've got this, the different types of leadership styles, and it has everything else in here, future manager. That's what I want to talk about. If I'm looking at future manager, you're going to be looking at different age groups, right? I'm a little older, I'm a baby boomer. You may be Generation Z. You may be Generation Y. You may be in between generations. Who the heck knows? You're not in, you're a Z and a Y, or you're a baby boomer and a Y, whatever. But it doesn't mean by the age, it's your mentality and it's how you approach things. You have to look at that. We are not robots. We are not all the same. That's the uniqueness of being a leader. Everybody's different. We got a lot of similarities, but you have to find some kind of conformity, some kind of policies and rules that you make. So while you're working for me, everyone is doing the same thing to meet the goals of the organization, to meet the goals of the shareholder, to meet the goals of your customers, okay? Okay, empowerment, basically you have empowerment, is a lot of people empowerment, I give power to my employees. They don't have, a lot of things. Hey, you got a customer complaint, if it's all going to take $10, give it a $10. But you give them certain things. In the corporate world, my account executive could write up contracts up to $75. Anything over 75,000, I gotta look at. I can write up contracts or sign off on contracts up to $500,000. Over $500,000, I have to go to the next level. Those are checks and balance, but they trust me enough with that money. If not, yank them out. That's for your when you do your control. Hey, you're losing. You're always over with all this money. You're spending more money than you budgeted for. Okay, knowledge management. Okay, you have access, controlling graphs. Standard and graphs, goals, and everything else. So people know what you're going to be graded. Are you a micromanager? These are some good things to look at. Measuring success. Traditional. I'm going to open up external customers. All this is measuring success, or what a lot of times the business and the author talked about 360. Reviews, managing for the future. Here's what's going to happen in the future. Better and prepare for the unexpected. Things are changing. Look, COVID came in like that. Doing business, now I'm an online instructor. So what happens, for me, it wasn't that big of a transition. I teach online, face-to-face. I teach the apprenticeship program. I teach this program. Different platforms, same material, just delivering in different ways, okay? So when they switched over to online, this was easy. I already had online class. I just flip the switch. More activity. Businesses should have different markets. One is a face-to-face store comes in, other is an online. The stores, the businesses that had both, and the online was maybe 10% of the business with this COVID-19, what happened, because of external factors, systematic, affected every business, not just mine, but every business in the economy. I was easy. So now a lot of businesses, their 10% ended up being 80%, and their face-to-face ended up 20%, but that transition was easier. Don't wait. You have to be a visionary. As a leader, you're looking what's in the future. Flatter organization means I'm less promotion, but I'm more responsive to the customers, more responsive to the environment. Development of cultural sensitivity. Sensitivity to different cultures, right? You're looking at diversification. I got to be sensitive, but I can't I can't upset, I'm going to upset somebody no matter what. You have to believe that. But I'm looking, the majority of my customers, they're all right. This percent, I can't change my whole mission to satisfy a 0.00001% of my customer base. I treat them fairly, I treat them well, but I'm not changing my policy for that 1%. Here's where my majority of my customers are here. Here's the customers I'm targeting, and here's what they want, not that single minority. And I'm not talking about minority of people. I'm talking minority of certain customers come in there and they want me to change. Now the leader has to make this decision. No, we're not going to change. No, we're on course. We're good. Or the leader's going to say, oh, I want to be everyone to like me as a company. Look, I like McDonald's for certain items they make. I like Burger King. I don't like everything McDonald's does. But you see me? So I have that flexibility, right? I'm a leader. So I could say, this is good. McDonald's is targeted it. If I'm looking at a healthy food offering, right? McDonald's coming up with this hamburger that looks like a meat, got little beets in there, so it got a little blood, a little red, and every texture and everything else. But it's completely veggie or soy, made out of soy. It's trying to get in the market. But when I go to McDonald's, okay, I'll try it for those people who come. That's not their main. That's only taking care of maybe 5% of the market. 10, but it could be larger depending on what happened. Okay, now that market, they're already opening it up. So they got to be. If something happens with the beef, the cows and everything else, some kind of sickness or something, mad cow disease comes in there, and all of a sudden hamburgers are all closed down. What does McDonald's got? Burger King, Wendy's. They've got the soy burger. They will just flip it over. Hey, it's almost I got a burger, I got the fries, I'll try this burger. Oh, not too bad. After you put all the mayonnaise, all that other stuff, ketchup, you can't taste anything. All right, so that's what you're doing. Sensitivity, invest in technology. McDonald's invest. Now, remember, we're going to talk about technology as a leadership. A lot of the leadership, because the stores are closed down, they're doing more automation. You just press the button and you order, hey, I want this, and they got hamburgers. They got to worry about COVID. They got machines doing it. Before, the technology wasn't feasible because of the cost. Remember, you're looking at the cost. Something's happened. Technology's there, COVID. This may help it, and now I could sell it, and if, as long as the hammers are good, and I could say it's clean, it's the machine sanitized, there's no issue, and you come in there, you pay the money, and it opens up, and everything's all done. You got ultraviolet light. You see, I'm doing everything else to work at this. I'm trying to adjust. Will it last? Maybe not. Maybe after this goes over, I can still use it, but I'll go back to the regular face-to-face. But I've adjusted to this. Create a vision. We're still going to be successful. We just have to adjust the way we're working and enhance to that, okay? So I've covered everything I wanted overview. I think let me see, expand, where the heck am I? Let me just, I like to always end this, so when people look at this, they basically see everything we covered. All right, so I'm going to just move this over, because I think my face is over here. All right, so again, let's see how many minutes I got. I think this is an important chapter. Remember, so I'm looking at this, minutes. 20 minutes, we're right on time. All right, again, my name's Dr. George, and I think next session, series you'll be taking me for will be basically organization of our cultures. Okay, so again, thank you for signing up, and I hope, remember, concept map, use do the reading, do the discussion board, look at my videos, do everything else in there, look at the publisher's videos, look at everything else, the other links I provided for you for this class, and that's how you learn. This is just a quick overview. Remember, I don't care if they it's nice that they like me, most of my employees like me, but I want them to respect me, and respect is basically earned, not by the title. Again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. Bye. 21 minutes.